That might be worth a look.
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage?
That might be worth a look.
One horn, the stink of Avernus, Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Karlach, the Archdevil Zariel's gladiator, come to burn the Sword Coast to ash.
Well, not counting the fuckers that need a good hurting.
Shut it, devil. I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's nightmares. You'd cut a child's throat just to taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool. I'm...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are Karlach, tearing through demons across a blood-red landscape of fire and volcanic cinder. The front lines of the Blood War. With every swing of her axe, Karlach fulfills Mistress Zariel's purpose.
Proof! Clear as summer sky. It's over, Karlach. It's time you feel the sting of the blade.
I've tried to tell you. I'm not what you think I am.
Another vision. Karlach's blade rays slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Will shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Balduran's helm, No, I will not be tricked.
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
No! Devils cannot be trusted!
Would you listen to sense? This doesn't have to end badly for either of us. You know monsters better than anyone. Can't you look in my eyes and see I'm not a devil?
You don't know what this means. You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I'm asking you to live, Will. I don't want to hurt you. And to be frank, I'd rather not find out how the Blade got his name. I swear to you, on all I am not what you think.
Shit! Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce. I see the good in you, Karlach. I promise not to lose sight of it. Even when the hells burn hottest.
Glad Will saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach. Fair. But still, the man's got a reputation for being lethal with that blade. I'm glad it's on our side.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to their throats. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
Nothing like a little camp drama to spice up the evening. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun. Then I'll see your delicious self tonight.
Seems like Will and Karlach will play nice from now on. Saves us having to pick sides.
Fine. What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
Thank goodness that's all dealt with. The odds are stacked high enough against us already. No need to turn on each other. That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you. It is a strange experience. Each time anew. Like a lost soul is spelunking through the darkness that is me, only to be sacrificed on the dread altar of the heart. Somehow the second artifact hasn't had the effect of the first. It's somewhat relieved the discomfort, but I fear my hunger hasn't quite... The magic isn't having the effect it should have. It's not like the last time, like a rainstorm that quells a forest fire. It merely drizzles. The embers still sizzle, the fire remains undefeated. I'm not certain what's going on, but nothing good. Please, I need to think. I need to retrace my steps to a glade of calm and think. Thank you for the artifact. A great deal of trouble it was, too. A great deal of trouble indeed.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time. No. The opposite. I feel like I can share this with you. I've never felt that way before. It's difficult to put into words. I think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind. I'm sure. I trust you. I don't remember how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing. She asked my name. Can't remember what I said. Can't remember anything before those words. All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home. With Lady Shah. It hurts. That's all I remember.
Something sparks in your memory about Selûnite rites of passage. You heard once about how they would send their children out into the wilds to navigate their way home.
You're reading too much into things. A childhood bauble, that's all. Just because Selûnites claim something doesn't mean they own it. Normally I'd agree. But with you, it's getting easier by the moment.
Emperor's fighting the gnolls. We should help.
Don't be a fool, lad. Shut your mouth and keep your head down. Leave the heroics to them that don't value their own skin.
Can't slow down. Make way.
Keep going.
With a shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast. No. The voice has forbidden this meat. Gnolls see your whole world as a meal. This voice is acting as a leash, but it won't hold them for long. As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. A memory. The beast daubs the symbol of the Absolute on a cave wall in blood, buried deep. A tadpole struggles to assert control against the ravenous chaos of her mind. You see drow and goblins restraining her, a mind flayer reaching out. And then the voice, bringing order. Eating this meat was forbidden, but it would lead her to a feast. The gnoll's tadpole squirms, responding to your intense focus. It draws strength from you. It will protect you. For a moment, your throat seems to fill with warm blood spilling into you from a living vessel. Anticipation of the feast. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
What now?
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?
That might be worth a look.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of the survivors wasn't enough to satisfy her. Sensing your presence, the Knoll's tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on Knoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat.
Mutilate them.
You bow, or you break.
Need to stay focused. On my way. Take you.
What now? No time for mercy.
No escape.
Let my name be known.
Got to concentrate. Onward.
Nothing will stand in my way. Another step forward.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of her pack wasn't enough to satisfy her. Her tadpole responds, thrashing violently, and the fragile tissue of her brain tears and splits. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. But she still resists. Your tadpole wriggles, contented, as she tears out her own throat.
Another parasite. Collect it. It might be useful.
don't hide trinkets in a box like that. There's something good rattling around in there. Keep a blade close. Simple.
Can't give up now. Better than nothing.
Don't linger.
Shouldn't have made me your enemy.
Victory awaits. On the move.
can't afford to let up. Got to move.
I need to rest. The sunset can't come quickly enough.
Smoke. Something's burning.
Teacher's certainty. More drow. Fist! At the ready! You're different than the others. I can tell. It was a massacre. Drow and goblins slaughtered the lot. My poor Yatsik never stood a chance. He should never have been here in the first place. I'm the one that talked him into joining the Fist. Now, please, just leave me be. Speak to the Gauntlet if you want to know more.
I hear shouting. Someone needs help.
Grey Guard helm.
Excellent armor. Drowcraft, of course.
We would be reckless. Teacher's certainty when we would
Not
have
much magic
So it
left,
is
though.
broken.
The sun's too bright.
Grand Duke Ravengard could be inside. Don't just stand there. Push! Inside! Hurry! We don't have much time. Hello! Can you hear me? We hear you! Stay where you are! Oh, we don't have much time! Fight down!
The heat coming off that door. Opening it could spell trouble.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
Du sicher ist Space. A welcome rest.
Fire! Hurry! Get this thing off me! Almost. Thank you. Now, how the hell do we get out of here? Right. I'll try to keep up. Find a way out.
On my way.
Careful, I bite. Don't linger.
Indolence breeds madness. An efficient path.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
He slaughtered everyone. Mary. Oh, Mary. No.
Not everyone subscribes.
Good thing for Will that Karlach called a truce. A tiefling that mighty would shred him to pieces and burn the remains. Now, what did you need?
Mary. No. Gods, no, no, no. You should have stayed. You should have been with me. I was in our room. We had a fight. If I just kept my mouth shut about that bloody dowry, she'd still be here. It's for her sister's wedding. I made a stupid joke about keeping it. We argued about it for hours. Then she took the dowry and left. She said I'd never see her again. She was right. How is this a blessing? You should have let me burn. Oh, Mary.
Looks like there's a chest buried in that hay.
I know this doesn't change anything, but it helps. Thank you. I need some time alone with her. To say goodbye.
Fresh air. At last. Your boldness is a blessing. I'm in your debt.
Counselor, are you all right?
It takes more than mere fire to break me, Eva. Now listen close, Fist. Duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Alder Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Gauntlet, report to the man and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
On your command, Counselor.
The rest of you, count the dead. Take word of their sacrifice to this city. And you, I must ask again for your aid. Please, rescue Ravengard from his drow captors. The Council will reward you for your effort. May I trust you'll see it through? Moonrise Towers, along the old road. That place is cursed. Few could survive there, unless darker forces are at work. This was no random attack. The Grand Duke was their target. It is not fealty, I ask. Merely a great favor on behalf of my city. Grand Duke Ravengard is the invisible force holding Baldur's Gate together. Without him, the city faces collapse. In fact, I fear that may have been the intention of those who abducted him. Thank you. And should your courage falter, remember the Duke's generosity. Approach the towers with care. The land itself has been swallowed in shadow. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can. Fist, to work.
Reckless. Teaches certainty when we would have doubt. So it is spoken, and so is it done. Great God Helm, allow us peace in this plane and beyond. Teach us care when we would be reckless. Teach us certainty when we would have doubt. So it is spoken, and so is it done. Great God Helm, allow us peace in this plane and beyond. Teach us care when we would be reckless.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
You flatterer. Why, if I had a warm heart, I'm sure it would be skipping. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9.
Targets shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. He's the Blade of Frontiers.
Devil's plaything, just doesn't have the same ring. Speaking of...
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. Gobsmacked, really. But grateful. Really grateful. I could learn a thing or two from a man like that. Hopefully we won't turn into mind flayers first.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Looking at something? I'm looking too, but not seeing very much. Another quirk of my affliction. Preening in the looking glass? Petty vanity? Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red. Is it? What do you see when you look at me? Oh, go on. Very good. Now just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day. Observant. Mirrors aren't much use, but being reflected in someone else's eyes? Well, I could do worse.
You recognize the feathered creature. It's the owlbear cub you rescued. The cub's eyes lock onto the food in your hand. The creature gulps the food down. It seems he hasn't eaten in some time.
Careful. Once that thing's eaten through the camp, it might start looking at you hungrily. I'm not chasing after it, if that's what you're thinking.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth. He gives in and surrenders his find to you. Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.